want to know how to get your kids to listen? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about the self-government way to get them to listen. Do your words go in one ear and out the other? This video is going to focus on why kids tune out and what you can do to turn them into calm, attentive, self-government listeners with some strategies that really work. You're talking, sometimes right there in front of their faces, but are they really hearing you? Why is it that they tune you out? I have to tell you something. So I had a daughter who had some ear problems. She had to have tubes in her ears and stuff like that because they wouldn't drain. And then there was a point where I would talk to her, but she would just never listen to me. And she was about 4 years old, and I thought that was really weird because her older brother would always listen to me. And so I thought, oh, I bet you we've damaged her hearing and she can't hear me. And so I took her to the doctor and they did a hearing test. I went to the hearing doctors and they put the little headphones on her and had her do all the little things. And then I came into the room afterward and they said to me, your daughter's hearing is great. She can hear absolutely everything. And I said, but she doesn't. Sometimes she really does not hear me and I could be right there talking to her. And they said, she's just tuning you out. And I'm like, oh, ouch, right? Now, why do people tune somebody out? There's multiple reasons. Let's first talk about neurodiversity, okay? Because there are some people, especially ADHD type people, that if they hyper focus in on something, which some ADHD people do that, and everything else melts away, and they get frustrated by anything else coming into their hearing space or their focus space, then they might be tuning you out just so that they can focus in on something else. Okay, so let's not take that personally, all right? If that happens, we can still work through that. For many years, I did therapeutic treatment care for troubled teens, and a lot of them had ADHD, and we had to work through this. How to help them be able to focus when it was time, and then also be able to focus in when they felt they needed to, and tune everything else out so that they didn't get distracted. But then let's talk about other reasons why people might tune you out. Well, because it's inconvenient to have to break away from what they're doing right then. They're playing, they're busy, they don't want to be bothered. And if they don't listen to you, sometimes you go away, sometimes you give up. So it could just be a basic manipulation or a power struggle tactic that they are having for you, especially as they get a little bit older and they pretend that they don't hear you. That's a very common thing that can happen. So power struggle, laziness, not wanting to break away from something else that they're doing, especially if you're trying to give them a no answer about something like, hey, no more TV or no more video games. That one is going to fly right by. They do not want to hear that. So especially if you don't make any connection with them when you throw out a statement like that, a no answer, they're definitely going to pretend they didn't hear it because you don't have any way of knowing if they did or didn't if you didn't establish a connection first. We're going to talk about how to do that, but first, what are some of the other reasons that a person might tune you out? Another reason that your child, or let's be serious, almost anybody might tune you out is because they are distracted. There's just too many distractions around them and they can't find the thing that they need to focus on. That can happen. Another thing might be that they don't understand the skills for how to follow instructions or how to accept no answers from you. Those are two vital self-government skills that they need for success. It could be that they want to do something else, and so in a way they're trying to disagree with you, but they're not using their self-government skill of disagreeing appropriately. Another reason that a person might not be listening to you is because the roles are unclear. They're not sure if they should listen to you or not. Now, this can especially happen in blended families or in situations where somebody's babysitting or that type of thing, because it's like, well, you were my sister, but now that you're babysitting, you're acting like you're my mom. I don't want to listen to that. You're my sister. You're not my mom. So the roles and the transfer of roles are not clear. Or maybe in a blended family, it would be like, well, you're not my dad, so you can't tell me to do whatever it is. In reality, once a couple is married and they're raising children, whether the children belong to one of them or not, doesn't matter. They have to have that unity and that cohesion in that parenting. Otherwise, it all starts to fall apart for the child. It's actually unhealthy. It is important for the child to understand, what is the role of my stepdad? Well, my stepdad actually gets to act like my dad and be my dad whenever I'm here. That's actually the way it's going to be for me, and I have to accept that. And what is my role as the child? That I have to learn, I have to follow instructions, I accept no answers. Those are all important parts of my learning environment. So you want to pre-teach your children all the skills that they need for success. Those 4 basic skills are the best self-government skills to begin with. So as a review, if you've already subscribed to this channel, you might know this, but just in case you haven't, the skills are how to follow instructions, how to accept no answers and criticism, how to accept consequences, and how to disagree appropriately. Start there. Start with the skill following instructions first. Once they learn those 5 steps to following an instruction, now you can pre-teach them ahead of time, okay, I'm going to give you an instruction. Do you remember the steps to following an instruction? They can say, yes, I do. You look at the person, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, do the task immediately, and then check back. You can praise them and say, that's fantastic. You can even practice a practice instruction before you get to your real one if you wanted to. Then you let them know, if you choose to follow the instruction, then this will be the positive. You'll get a high five, I'll praise you, you'll get things done faster, things that matter to them. Then you tell them, if you choose not to follow the instruction, then no problem, we'll just take some time to do a correction. You'll get the opportunity to earn an extra chore. I love extra chores for negative consequences because work is the antidote for a sick character. There's a lot more about my consequence system in my TSG parenting course on my website, teachingselfgovernment.com, but that's just a little help right then. So you pre-teach them, and then in the moment when you give that instruction, they're more likely to follow through. They will actually listen to you. But there is one thing that you need to recognize. In all 4 of the 4 basic skills, the first step of every one of those skills is to look at the person. This is for them, but it's also for you. If you know they have to look at the person, then that means that you have to look at them as well. This is going to establish a connection. If you establish that connection with the child by looking at them, then you know they heard you. If they have a hard time looking at you because of a neurodiversity, then have them touch your hand. Hold out your hands and give the instruction. Have them repeat the instruction back to you. Then say, okay, now go and do that. They may even need to repeat the no answer back to you. What we need to do is just be a little bit more deliberate as parents, and then we won't be reactive so much. If we're hollering things from the other room or up the stairs or down the stairs to try to get them to do things and they don't respond well, it could be because we are not actually doing the initial communication well enough for them to understand what they should do. Now, I know some people might be saying, listen, my child knows what to do. We've been at this for 8 years. We've been at this for 12 years. They know when they need to follow instruction. They are just power struggling and not doing it. Well, then correct it. Then use a proper correction. I'd like to share with you the steps for correction in my next video, which is how to get kids to listen without threats. Click on the link to that video next. I'll see you there.